It's important for all young trumpet players to start using their first and third valve slide from the very beginning. If they learn that a note sounds high, they always think it's fine. As you listen to a C major scale, you can hear that the D, the E, and the A are all high. Listen again as I use my slides. Listen again as I just isolate the D. There's quite a difference between a D that's in tune and a D that is sharp with the slide all the way in. The approximate slide position for a D is roughly a half an inch. A C sharp is 3/4 of an inch. Okay. For low E, A, F on top of the staff, and high A above the staff, you need approximately 1/8 of an inch on your first valve slide. Remember, these are just approximations. Use your ear to find where the pitch lies.
There are many individual tendencies to the horn that affect the intonation, and I want to talk about just 2 of them today. One has to do with the written D, the concert G, at the top of the staff. And that note on just about every horn I've ever encountered tends to be sharp. So if this is a time when the note needs to be on the low side, using the traditional fingering of trigger 1 and 2 is going to be problematic. And that's a great time to use the trigger and the 3. This can be particularly useful in the Mozart horn concertos 2, 3, and 4. Another thing to consider when tuning the horn is your hand position. There are many good ways of using your hand in the bell. My personal favorite is to have the hand at the top of the bell. If you think of this as 12 o'clock and this is 6 o'clock, you want to think of your hand as being between 1 and 3 o'clock. The great thing about this hand position is it works whether you're sitting or standing. And you can pull your hand away this way if you're a little bit on the flat side and move in this way. So your hand is always in an arc shape like that, and the movement comes from the knuckles to the wrist. This is a great way to help with the tuning of the instrument, and particularly if you are listening as you play, it's an instant way to help with the intonation.
As you know, those of you that play trombone, intonation on the trombone is one of our most difficult challenges. It's not that we don't have multiple choice of where to put the slide so that we can actually play perfectly in tune, but the challenge is of where to put the slide based on the individual tendencies of the pitches up and down our instrument. The overtone series has a great influence on the trombone, as it does on any of the brass instruments, but it is made even more prominent on our instrument because of the distance we have to actually manipulate the slide to adjust for the sharpness or flatness of particular pitches. There are several places that are of most difficult for us because our instrument, the lines that we play tend to be in that register. That happens to be the 6th harmonic, which is above the staff on concert F, E, E flat, and D when we play it in 4th above the staff. The 6th harmonic is very sharp on trombone, so we have to make sure that instead of playing F concert in 1st position, that it's always going to be in an extended position. Rarely will F be in tune if you play it all the way in 1st position where you play your tuning concert B flat. So you extend your F, E, E flat, and D, and you would follow that down the slide if you were to happen to have to go further out on that harmonic series, but most of the time we limit ourselves to that first 4 positions. Likewise, in that same register, the next partial up where we play F sharp and G, those pitches have to be raised slightly to accommodate for the flatness of that partial. If we were to follow the slide up, there is an A flat in 1st position, but it is so flat that we can't really use it in performance. So the G is going to be very high and the F sharp is going to be high. And just so that you get a better visual picture of this, if my F sharp, for example, were to be in tune here, and I were to play my F sharp there, I would have missed the F sharp by an increment here, and then also an equal increment on the bottom of the slide, so that I might have missed the pitch by a great distance, even though it doesn't look like it on the slide. So use your ears and make sure that we're adjusting the partial above the staff, the sixth partial bringing F, E, E flat, and D down, and bringing F sharp and G up. One more place of trouble for us as we get better instruments, those of you that have step-up instruments with F attachments, we have to make sure that we're adjusting the horn accordingly based on the tubing that we've added now on the back of the horn. So that when we depress the F attachment, we no longer divide the slide into 7 parts, we only divide it into 6 parts, so that the positions are going to move correspondingly further out the slide. The exception to this will be F just below the staff. That pitch will be all the way in. It tends to be either in tune or flat. And then as the other pitches that we use there, C, second space, B natural, second line, have to be extended so that C natural will almost never be played all the way in, but will be extended slightly, as will B natural. Now, how to find the positions for your trigger notes that are underneath the staff, one trick that I like to use is to actually play those pitches up an octave, and then we're going to use the trigger to find those same pitches, and then we drop down. I'll demonstrate on a concert D. Depress the trigger. Wherever I find that note in tune now, that will be the slide position for the lower octave. You can do that for E flat, D flat, and C out on the extended position. So use your F attachment up an octave to help find the position for the extended positions below the staff.